started, I don't feel the need to stand up because I feel like everyone can see me. I'm Kathleen, and I'm looking at myself in that video right now, and it kind of freaked me out because Grace is turning the computer toward me.
Don't break the fourth wall.
But anyway, so we're here in honor of David.
Woo!
Yes, David. For his work with Humans of Sewanee, which I would tell you about, but that's what we're here to hear about. So I'm going to let him do that. But before we start, I just wanted to remind everyone that it takes amazing people to support amazing people. So give yourselves a round of applause. Okay, and without further ado, David, why don't you tell us about yourself and Humans of Sewanee?
Okay, yeah, I don't do things like this often.
I say you should stand.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I guess before I get into the background, I just want to thank everybody who has supported the page, and really shout out to Arlesia. She took a lot of pictures during the fall months. I edited them, but, you know, she was behind the camera a lot, and a lot of pictures y'all saw. I wasn't always behind the camera, so shout out to her. And also, since I have this platform, there's always a great chance to shout out my trans individuals all around the world. Trans lives matter. And shout out to my melanin people. Anyway, we're going to get into, I guess, the background. So, I bought this camera here in July 2013. Because I always wanted to do photography, but I never got a chance to do photography at my high school because I was always singing, I was always playing in the band, and I just never got a chance to take a photography class. So I bought it, and then I said, oh, I'm going to do something at Sewanee. So freshman year, I was watching YouTube videos on how to be a photographer, and, you know, those are never helpful. And I started taking pictures, but they were, like, really terrible and really horrible. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was taking some, like, every 3 weeks. And then I just stopped for, like, almost 3 months. And I was like, I actually spent, like, $1,000 on this camera, and I'm not taking any photos. So we get to second semester of last year, and we were at a basketball game. I brought my camera. And I, back then, rarely took pictures at all. And my friend Bria, she took the camera from me. And she was like, I'm going to take a picture of you. I was like, no. But she did. Anyway, she took pictures of me and all of my friends there. And I was very pleased with it. And then I started taking pictures in the Kai and at other formals that we had. And I just ended the year having pictures that I didn't have the first semester. So going into the summer months, I was like, I have to do something with photography. So I started watching more YouTube videos. And I went to UIFI, a leadership conference for fraternities in Indiana. And I took pictures at the conference, and the man over the conference was also taking pictures. And he was like, I really need some of your photos. So I did my little spiel and put it on our Facebook group page. I was like, yeah, I really like how the human interactions is going on here. I was like, okay, well, I have to do this more often when I get back to Sewanee. And then I didn't really take any more the rest of the summer because of my internship in Little Rock. So, but before, like in August before I got back, I was like, I have to do something. I really have to do something here. And I was like, I don't know what I was going to do, but I was like, what's the first big photo opportunity once I get back? And then I was like, there's an activity fair right outside of All Saints when they signed the honor code, when the first one signed the honor code. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to take pictures as they exit. And then I let other people like Arlesia, Author, Rika, they were taking pictures of them. And I was just looking through them while they were, when I got the camera back. And I was like, ooh, this is something nice. I was like, this is the start of something. I didn't know what it was, but I knew it was the start of something. So then I guess the idea started to form behind what Humans of Sewanee was going to be. So I guess the second week of school. Well, first week actually, not second week. First week, I was thinking, oh, you know, I have a name. We're gonna do something. I have a name called Sewanee Paparazzi, and everybody was like, no, don't call yourself Sewanee Paparazzi because that's just like all negative, and nobody wants like a paparazzi here. And I was like, well, I was like, just hurt my feelings, but you know, Sewanee Papa is short for paparazzi, so it's still in there. Anyway, so I was talking about the idea at work study, and Rob McAllister and Kate Reed was like, have you ever heard of something called Humans of New York? And I was like, no, I never heard of it. And I started looking at what the guy who created Humans of New York does, and what he did. I was like, I can't do exactly what he does because I don't have time to be a complete journalist and do all of that, but I can do a version of that. But I was like, I'm not sure. And I was like, I can't do this by myself. So Arlesia, also who took pictures at the activity fair, was like, oh, I will help you out. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, one night, August 31st, I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to start a Facebook page. Only 50 people are going to like it. But I'm just going to call it Humans of Sewanee. Let me just go ahead and make this cover photo like All Saints and make this profile picture basic, and boom. And then the next morning, September 1st, Abby Holloway, right? Oh, Abby Holloway was calling me, let's go get some donuts and coffee. And I was like, okay. So I got in the car, I had my camera. I was like, you know what, let me take pictures of you like driving. And I did, and they were weird. And I was like, I don't like these. So once she parked, because she was going to math, I took pictures of her walking, and then other people were walking. Then I took pictures of them, and then I saw Arlesia later, and we took pictures of other people, and people was like, why are you taking our pictures? I was like, I don't know. You'll find out soon. And I made my first post, and the rest has continued out. Let's see. Okay, now I guess I can talk in depth about Humans of Sewanee. I already said Abby. Abby, I don't know if anybody really noticed. Abby was the first picture I took for Humans of Sewanee, and I did like a little tribute to her on New Year's Eve. As the last picture I would post of New Year's, because like Abby was just, I support you all the way, boo boo, and I love her, so I just did that, and I'm really happy. Abby was my first. I probably won't do it the same way this semester because people will be gone, and I may be here for graduation yelling people's names and everything, so it'll be a little different. But I know when I first started, you know, I tried to try to do photos every day. Oh, there's Abby. I try to do photos every day, and you know, the way Sewanee is set up, you know, you kind of have to study. And you kind of have to do other homeworks, and editing is not always easy. So I had to slow down a lot, and I was like, oh, but I don't want to do this. But I was just like, you know what, you got to care for yourself. You really can't care for people. I mean, they are your subject of your photograph, not you don't work with them. Because I was like, I'm not getting no pay for this. Y'all asked me to do this every day, but you know what? I was like, whatever. So I slowed down a lot, and my son. I guess the reason how I shape a photo and how Arlesia shapes a photo are like two different ways. Like how I shape a photo is it's all about lines. Like if I took a picture right now, like the lines of that window in y'all will have to be perfect for me to snap the photo. And that's how I see the photo. And that's why I try to make every photo like that. So in my mind, it's not necessarily I have to get your face or I have to get your hair length or anything. It's just, it's the perfection of the symmetry. And I like when I edit my photo.
The last one.
Oh.
Was that one of yours?
Yes.
Like the line?
Well, the lines is really short because of that wall and the lighting from that. But
It's for
if you go to the next picture, you'll see Like those two looking away, and then see that. That's one of my favorite photos that I've taken this school year. But anyway, and when I edit, I don't edit every photo, but when I do edit, I like to darken the settings because I want to get the outer line of each person's face, and I want to show all the details of their eyes, their facial expressions, the wrinkles. Like I want the face. If I take a picture of your face, to show a story. Like I want you to make your own story of that photo. It was just at the homecoming game that if you didn't know that, you would just be like, why is she looking this way? And why is he looking this way? Like, where are they at? Like, I want everyone to perceive each photo as a different story, even if it's at the same event. If that makes sense. And then I try my best to not be biased, and I try my best to not shoot everyone multiple times, and I try to not put the spotlight on the same person over and over and over. Which I think, and hopefully I have done a good job doing that. But if I haven't, please tell me I have not. I try my best not to show multiple people in a 2-month, maybe 3-month time frame. You can be on the Flickr account or whatever. But like, if I'm going to be like, these are like 5 pictures, and here's the story, I don't want that same person to be there like the next post. And I guess that's like the mission is to show human interactions here in the Sewanee community. Human interactions here in the Sewanee community, and I really do like this side note. I really do like photos where people are hiding their faces. I don't know why. Devontae there is hiding his face, but I really do like photos like that. I don't know why, but yeah, the mission is basically to show human. It was always to show human interaction throughout the Sewanee community, wherever you are. People's smiles, hopefully no pain, which I probably wouldn't photograph pain or anything, but just like laughter and them studying or them doing photography and not taking a picture of them doing their photography. It's all about the interaction. I guess it's all about the sociology perspective, basically, of studying behavior in the environments, which I guess really is why I enjoy. Because, like, especially back last semester, I was like really getting tired of taking pictures, and thankfully to Arlesia, who got me back to liking taking pictures over and over, because I was forgetting, I guess, the purpose of why I was taking the photo. Like the photos help me more than I guess it would help the person who takes the photo. Like it makes me know there's a purpose behind this photo. Why you took this photo for a reason, and that's why I love taking photos all the time. I can't, which I wish I could take photos every day, but I can't. But when I can take a photo, I enjoy it. I hate the pain. I hate the pain of editing and sitting down for hours to look through all of the photos and only present a few because I want to present all of them to the world, but it's worth it. But I guess I can move on to the future of what I want to do this one. I mean, I won't be here forever. And, I don't know where it would go after I leave. I'm only a sophomore, so I have 2 more years, but, you know, I always plan for the future. Hopefully somebody else will take it up, and I can give somebody else the reins, and they keep up the good name. If you know anybody who is a photographer and would like their photos to be published on Hymns of Sewanee, please let me know. Or trust me, it's a hassle off my back. And I would love to give other people creative control. Because it's not just me who should be getting praise. There's many other fantastic photographers on this campus. I'm just the black boy behind the camera, hiding. And I guess future goals, I really do want more social interaction on my page. I really want more input from people. Like, I have ideas, but if anybody else has any idea what they want to do, if you have poem, any kind of art that you would want published. Mind you, Facebook has control to use whatever is posted in their range. So if you have a website that you post your stuff that's protected, I can always broadcast that because every human in Sewanee has talent, and every human in Sewanee like that. That's also is the go-to publish, and to get every human that I can, like to get every person who interacts throughout the communities, or everyone who comes through that gate, they should get the attention that they need. And in the future plans, I have like I have like 2 ideas that I plan to do. Probably towards the end of February, early March, because I have essays and quizzes and tests that I will be studying for. But I have plans for something to, I guess, highlight those who are not always highlighted. And I will need all the help of those, help of everyone who can mention people who are unique or who are just angelic, but they're not always highlighted. So, with that, I am done. I don't know if you want to ask any questions.
How many likes on the Facebook page?
Over 1,000.
They look really dark on the screen because it's a projector from media services, but so like a lot of them you can't really see a lot of definition, but that's not the actual photos, that's the representation. So does anyone have any questions?
Like, I was wondering if, like, we submitted, like, writing or something like that to you. Is it possible that we could do it anonymously? You know, that sort of vibe. Oh, okay, awesome.
Like if you don't want if it's like a poem or if it's like a short story and you don't want your name on that, I can just say a human of Sewanee broke the story. You should look at.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Like you don't have to force. I don't. If you're not comfortable, like, and it's also like if anyone's never comfortable with a photo that I post, and people have messaged me and said, "Can you please take that down?" I will immediately take it down because privacy is very important, and and if you don't feel comfortable, I don't want to publish something that will make you feel uncomfortable. So I will immediately delete it.
Have you?
Yes.
Sorry. Have you ever like thought of interacting with like the Sewanee Purple or people who are like journalists and things like that to like help with the story behind the picture? Or do you want to move it more towards like how Brandon does it with Humans of New York, or do you want to keep it like this where it's just pure photos and it's just, you know?
Shiana looks so beautiful.
Shiana will always be beautiful. She catches that light.
I really
She does.
I don't really interact with the people at the Purple. It's not. I guess I have my own reasons on why I don't really interact with the people at the Purple. If I had, I mean, I guess
or just even not the Purple, but just people who are like journalists or who want to be journalists, but you know, find other ways to use that. Like, do you want to,
if anybody who wants to be a journalist has an idea that they think I should be doing, they can always suggest that to me, or they always can help. I guess, I mean, the goal is always to be like Humans of New York, because that's the chief inspiration. Start from nothing to go to something big around the world. So it's always to be like that. And people have liked this from Germany and other foreign countries. So yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
So one of my favorite parts of Humans of New York is the interviews that he does with them, and then how like some of the captions from the interviews are some of the quotes from the interviews are the captions. Do you do that as well?
I wish I could, but there's also with I don't really have a journalist with me to do it. Like, if given the chance, I would, and if given the time, I would. Hopefully, one day I will be able to do like sit-down interviews.
Well, I think the way that he does it is he just asks them a question, like, what was your favorite thing that happened today, or something like that. But yeah, just a thought.
Yeah.
You've done quotations about.
Oh, I've done quotations from people, and then I did like 2 interviews last year. But That's an interesting. It's an interesting feat that I could possibly do one day. Curtis, well, I know Curtis has been waiting.
So I found it interesting that you mentioned it's not all about you capturing the face of the individual. And then so your previous statements, you talked about sort of the environment. So this is more so a comment rather than a question. But just want you to consider the sort of conceptual technique that's going in behind the photo, like through your process, and then matching that with the content. What you're more concerned about the environment and capturing the environment around the person, and then to think that you are capturing Sewanee's environment in that manner. So, and then you mentioned us considering people who aren't quite highlighted to take pictures of and such, so, or having an angelic presence. And my question to that, and I don't know if it has an answer now or ever, but what would sort of qualify that person to be angelic or special within our environment?
I wouldn't. It's basically people I don't know.
Okay.
The real thing. And like, if somebody suggests them, it would be like, why? Like, it would have to be an explanation of why, and it would give me a chance to meet this person and feel what this other person felt about that person. That is the reason why I would be like, why is this person unique, or why is this person angelic, and I don't know them. And it gives me a chance to, I guess, step out of my comfort zone and meeting other people. So it's not like I'm just gonna, you're gonna suggest a name and then I'm just gonna do a quick interview about them. It's about like, you like this other person. I don't know who this person is. I've seen them around campus, but I don't know this person. I can introduce myself to them, get the same, hopefully get the same feeling that you got from them, and I can take a picture of them.
So it becomes about the personal interaction.
Okay, so looking back on the moment that you were born until now, are there any specific moments in your life that you think put you on the track to sort of partaking and taking on Humans of Sewanee?
I guess it was also, I guess it would be high school, the constant denial that I couldn't take photography classes at high school because I couldn't fit it in my schedule to save my life. I would always try to do journalism, or I would try to do photography, or I would try to do yearbook, but I couldn't because I had to have at least 2 music classes, and then I had to have a core class, and then you could have an elective, and it was always tedious, and I could never fit in photography. So, luckily I'm in a petite class, documentaries and photography now, and it's a dream come true, if that makes sense. Where we talk about photography and editing photos for a class. That's like amazing. Yeah, but yeah. So it would be high school and the constant denial that I couldn't take pictures then.
So, I mean, you've been taking pictures of Humans of Sewanee for a good while now, and you have so many. So, is there something that you've learned from all of it about Humans of Sewanee? Has something stood out as a characteristic shared by all the people in the photos? Or do you think I'm just wondering what your takeaway is from all of the people and pictures you've taken.
Most of the time the people just smile. A lot of people want their pictures taken. At first there was a lot of like glares. There was like a lot of glares, like, who are you and what are you doing? But I guess people have just been more comfortable of a person behind a camera just snapping. And people like will come in, hold on. Let me get my friend here. Let's all take a bit. Like, I really thought it was going to be hard, like, because, I'm under this paparazzi thing, and I was just going to be popping up on people and taking pictures of them. But eventually people was like, well, you're not going to pop up on me, and they just will stop and pose, or they would keep walking and smile. And so it's just a lot of, it's happiness here. it shows there's happiness here on the domain, and there's a sense of community. That's the reason why I try to go to as many community events as possible, like football games or basketball games, or something that an event that's outside where people can come outside of their dorms, or they can come from wherever to gather. So anything, not in like university sanctioned events, they're cool, but that's not like it's either required or it's recommended. But I want you to go to something that's required or recommended. It's like another student is throwing it or another organization is throwing it, and you want to come to support them, and that's why I go to those things.
Are you?
Well,
Okay. Are you opposed to like, to make it more like, I guess, because you said the goal is to make it internationally. Are you opposed to possibly? And I don't know how you feel about it, but possibly students who go abroad, study abroad and things like that, taking pictures and then giving it to you and adding that. So it's like it's still Humans of Sewanee, but it's just you see Sewanee students in different settings. And like how unique that is, because you can tell a Sewanee student from a mile away, and so to be in a different country, are you opposed to doing that? Like, how do you? And if you're not, like, do you want to do that? And then if you do, like, how are you going to do that?
Well, I don't plan to study abroad, so I wouldn't be able to like go abroad and take pictures. But I don't know. If someone goes abroad and takes pictures in a different environment and wants it to be published or want to be highlighted for a Sewanee experience in a different country or a different land, sure enough, I would publish it. I would post it in a show link or whatever and publish the story, how they feel about it. I don't see where the problem is. So, no, I'll be okay.
So I was actually just thinking, and there's someone else on campus, Lynn Hutchinson, who's been sort of doing this for a long time. Have you ever talked to her?
No.
She's known to most people as Katie Kodak.
Oh.
She takes black and white photos and sells them in the SPO, but I feel like you're kindred spirits because she's been doing sort of the same thing for a long time. So I was just going to suggest that connection.
Our previous interactions with each other haven't always been pleasant.
Yeah, yeah.
She smiles at me now, but when I first started beginning to take pictures, she was not the happiest camper. So,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe in the future, it's not even a friendship. Like that situation could be mended or whatever, but. I don't know, but I know she takes amazing photos. I do know that. She's a photographer. She's been a photographer for years, so praise to her.
I was just wondering, what kind of program do you use to edit your pictures?
Okay, well, lately I have been using Lightroom in the photography lab. Since I have access into the photography lab now. But before, I was just using Pixar on my computer in my backpack. Since it's Google Chrome, it does not have the access to Adobe anything, and it's completely Wi-Fi. So I had to pick the best editor to do it, and it did its job. But now I prefer to do it in the photography lab. Because I can see it on a bigger screen, and then I can see it. Lightroom has way different, more effects. And then also I can use some of the photos that I'm purposely taking for Humans of Sewanee for Pradeep's class as well. So.
So, do you have a reason why you take pictures like during the day and outside? I know you probably don't have time to do like nighttime activities, not necessarily like the fraternities or anything, but I feel like I haven't even seen them like at Lambda Chi or anything like that. Do you think it's just like you're busy, you don't want to do it, or there's something special about it?
Well, during the day, the lighting is better outside. It's way hard. Night photography is way harder than like day photography. And then plus, Lamb the Kai allows me to take pictures of them. I don't know about other fraternities will allow me to take pictures of them. Like, they probably...
Not that you would want to.
I mean, yeah, like I wouldn't even know how to approach people. I wouldn't even know how to approach other people in fraternities. Be like, let me take pictures of you right now. Like that would be like no. Like I would feel like it maybe a no. It could be a yes, but like I don't know. It's I don't know. But if given the opportunity and if I like felt like completely comfortable doing it, I would take pictures of like nightlife. But nightlife is. I really don't like showing alcohol, and I don't really like showing drunk people in my pictures,
Maybe like
especially for like
or something like that.
Yeah, like especially like Humans of Sewanee, like alums like it, and I don't want it to be like, oh, he's showing drunk people and he's showing alcohol. I don't want that to be a vision, even though it's here, but like I don't. It's not like the goal to take pictures of alcohol and drunks. Maybe one day, maybe there will be a post about it, but not right now. I don't feel like it's the time to do it right now.
You can certainly take a picture of me holding a beer at any point. Just saying. Like spring party or whatever.
Spring party, I'll probably be on a different level. So.
There's no taking pictures. He's really funny.
Made it so how long does it take?
How long does it? Well, I can take pictures on Monday, but I may not actually get to them until Friday. It's really according on how much homework I have, and then how much time I have. Like, say I take 500 photos. To look through all of them on my camera, and then delete some and cut some, and then look through all of them again on the computer, and delete some, cut some, and then edit some of them, not all of them, because that would take hours on end. It could easily take 3 to 4 hours. I prefer to do it like at night. I think that's the easiest thing to do. But yeah.
Any other questions for David?
What would you say to someone who is interested in like documentary photography, and like what is something that's most important to keep in mind when you're doing documentary photography of like a close community?
I would say first take documentaries and photography with it.
Do you have to take a prerequisite for that?
I don't believe I've
Really?
taken it out. This is my first art class. So
Oh, dope. Okay. I can take that next week.
If you want to do documentary photography, just know what your purpose is behind it. Like, just don't do it like you're trying to just show people. Like, somehow, like, in Sewanee, you will know the environment, so it's easier. But just say, like, you're in a city you've never been in, you may not know the environment to just start a documentary photography.
Exactly.
So know the purpose behind it before it, and if... What was your other question?
I'm sorry. I honestly don't even remember.
She said how like to do it in a close community.
Just start. I just started taking pictures here. Just start.
Okay.
Don't try to encroach on other people's territory, maybe.
Yeah.
And don't like try your best to stay in your lane and stay in your own zone. That's no shade behind that comment at all. But stay. But find yourself in doing it, and then that will lead you where to go.
So like use it in your everyday life and like take pictures in your everyday life and then like branch out into different areas of campus or branch out into different areas of the place that you're in. I'm not saying I'm like trying to take over your page.
No.
Like that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like in general, just for giggles.
Yeah, it's just wherever the camera leads you, or wherever your mind leads you, that's where you should go.
Okay. Oh, that's really sweet.
Any
Fun.
other questions?
Yeah, any other questions of David? Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. So I hope that everyone got toast and lemonade, and if you don't have any left, you can raise like an imaginary glass or an empty one, or to toast David. He was a Sewanee! Yay, David! Thank you.
That was my prosky.
Aw.